Good. How are you guys today? Pretty good? No, I just don't have a hat on for once.
I know you guys are probably done celebrating, unless I guess 24 hours isn't quite up yet. But is there a different feeling in the building today coming off a win? Like what we're doing is working, and just to keep pounding, pun intended.
No, yeah. Look, I'm sure the guys feel all their hard work is more validated, with a win. I think the key is to try to be the same guy every day, and so, I challenged them today to have the same intensity about improving that they had last week, at 0-2, right? Like that's to me the key to being great is just come in every week, see what we did well, see what we did not do well, and improve because the same issues are still there, the things we have to improve upon. But I do hope that they feel validated that you know what, we are a good team. We can play with good teams. We've played 3 games. They've all come down to the wire. We just made some really great plays in this game that won the game for us.
One of those plays was Laviska, obviously breaking free, but Robbie had a great slot block downfield. Just kind of what you saw in that play, what Robbie did to make that happen.
Yeah, it's really a play designed versus that coverage to go to DJ inside on the slant. DJ won. Baker just saw it and threw the ball outside. Robbie's running his. It's a deeper slant by Robbie, and Robbie turned up and made the block. And I made a big point about that today. A lot of big plays happen when, Christian had the great run coming out of the half, kind of like the reverse field run. Laviska went in and blocked the linebacker. Those are the big plays in the game that no one notices, right? But I'm glad you noticed that Robbie made that block. That allowed Laviska to get down the field and eventually score. So there's a lot of little things like that in a game like today after you've won that you can celebrate, and then also show them, hey, if we make one more block here, maybe this is a touchdown or that's a touchdown. So I think there's a lot of coaching that has to happen on a day like today.
After looking at the tape, what's your assessment of Baker's play yesterday?
Yeah, I think Baker would be the first to tell you that he wants to play better. I think it's still a matter of settling his feet in. I think overall it's the passing game in general has to improve. We keep like an error percentage, and we feel like if our error percentage is under 17, we have a really good chance to win. We were at 13%, so we were really good in terms of not giving up. We had 3 negative plays, we had 3 sacks, we had 1 penalty, we had 1 drop. And I think our analytics guys had us as no drops, but I gave us 1 drop. So we didn't beat ourselves. We didn't have the errors. We didn't have all those things. Baker's protected the ball. Had 1 interception in the first game. So there's a lot of positive things. We're running the ball really well. But our passing game, specifically third down, but in general, is just not anywhere near where we want it to be. So, some of that falls on everyone. Some of it falls on Baker in terms of his feet and being on time and taking some throws that are there. And the wideout play has to really improve this week. We need to play better at that position.
When you talk about settling the feet, is that more of trusting protection, or is that just?
Yeah, I think it's getting in rhythm and trusting the protection. I mean, we've got a really good offensive line, and it was unfortunate we took that sack before the half. One of the sacks was on the naked on the third play of the game where he rolled out and just got tackled instead of throwing the ball away. We've got good protection. We just have to settle down. I think if we do that, but we got to get open too. There has to be enough guys running open. We talk a lot about getting the ball to certain people, but they have to go make those plays and get open. And we have the guys to do it. I got a lot of confidence in the group. I think this is just every week we have to get better.
Was Ian the drop?
Yeah, Ian was the drop on the shallow cross. Yeah.
Seemed like a competitive play though too.
Yeah, I think that's why. At the end of the day, we have our own standards in here. In terms of, hey, we expect. Ian expects. Ian's playing really good football. I mean, he got hurt, came back, key block on the kickoff return that Laviska had. As I told our guys, anytime you're up 13-0 and they come back and they score to make it 13-7, you kind of feel everyone's kind of like, what's going to happen next? Good teams answer, and so Laviska has the kickoff return. Ian with a key block on that return. Then Laviska scores a touchdown to make it whatever they made it 19-7. Then and then go for 2, don't get it. Then come right back, kick the field goal. So those were really big answers on offense for me.
On Baker, you mentioned the mechanics with the feet, and maybe that's causing some of the high throws. But wondered also where are you with his satisfaction level on his reads and where he is up with the scheme?
Yeah, I think scheme-wise he's fine. The first third down we throw the over route to DJ. That's our man beater. He goes right to it. We're just not connecting on it. At the end of the game, we threw the slant flat, and we don't connect on it. We've got to connect on those balls. There's some plays that maybe aren't there that they cover. I get that, but we've got to connect and complete balls. I mean, even something as simple as we threw a play action pass and we checked the ball down to Gio, and Gio gets 15 yards on the check down. We talked about last week trying to check the ball down more. I think he saw the game better this week. I think he took the right drops. I just think it's settling down, trusting the protection. But everyone, in my opinion, in football, the other 10 guys' job on passing plays is to make the quarterback right. Receivers have to be exactly where they're supposed to be. They've got to win versus man. They've got to catch contested catches. The line's got to protect. And so, it's just in general kind of sometimes falls on one guy, but it's everybody. All 10 guys have to go out there and make the quarterback right, and it just didn't happen enough yesterday.
So if you took a leap forward from week 1 to 2, how would you characterize 2 to 3?
It was better. It was improvement, but there's just too many plays hanging out there that we have to hit on. Again, I'm going to put that on everybody, starting with us as coaches. So I just think if Baker takes a step and the receiving core takes a step and the O-line continues to take a step and we keep running the ball like we did, that's a great front. We came into the game knowing, hey, that's a great front, and for us to have, I forget what it was, like 145 yards with that long one called back by Christian at the end. That was a big day for us. So the run game's coming. We just have to convert third down, stay on the field to hopefully begin to wear on people a little bit more.
In back-to-back weeks, you guys have proven that you can both run the football and stop or contain the run. What does that reputation or that reality do for a team psychologically?
Well, I think it lets you know that you can control the game. I mean, you can get into games and be behind or be ahead, but you want to control the game. You want to control the line of scrimmage. You want to have a lead, maintain a lead. Down the stretch, we were up 22-7. We were running the football because A, we felt like we could, and B, we knew the defense was playing really well. That to me is a key to winning games in the fourth quarter. Now we gave up 14 points in the fourth quarter. We have to improve that. Some great plays by Jameis, some great plays by their wideouts. He gets outside contain, he throws the ball up, and those kids went up and got it. But that controlling of the game by winning up front on the offensive defensive lines is really important.
And then speaking of your secondary there, you mentioned a string of guys who were a little banged up. I just kind of want to run through them with you. How's Donte doing?
Yeah, Donte came back and played. I thought it was a courageous effort by him. Got a little dinged up, but came back and battled. So.
You mentioned C.J. Henderson as well.
Yeah, he came back in the game. So both those guys, I would expect them to be fine this week. I'll wait and see Wednesday, in terms of where they are.
Xavier.
Yeah, Xavier had some tightness in his lower body, so hopefully he'll be able to go Wednesday.
Yeah, no real concerns though for really.
I don't know. I never know honestly, I never really know with soft tissue stuff until Wednesday. Sometimes even Thursday with some of these guys.
Thank you.
Matt, with Laviska taking those first 2 weeks off, and you guys having time to game plan and kind of study the game let him study your offense from afar, how much did it help having Ben's background with him, kind of plan out how you wanted to use him?
It helped some. I think he just kind of knew, hey, he's really good in these areas. I think, our young coaches did a really good job. Matt Lombardi, Garrett McGuire, those are the guys when you get a new player in that start tutoring them, because the other coaches are doing other things, and they've gotten him up to speed, and Laviska has done a great job. So, and then, to be quite honest with you, we just said, hey, we're putting him back there to return. We're going to just put him out there and let him play, and hopefully his role will be increased this week now that we've seen the things that he can do.
Terrace was inactive. Was that because you activated Laviska?
Yeah, we had to make a decision. Part of it, so much of it at the receiver position is who can help me on special teams and who can help us on special teams, and who knows all three positions. Some guys are really good at one or two. Higgs is a guy that can go in and play all three. And we tried to play Higgins more. We tried to play him down the red zone. Wanted to get him in those situations where his hands can be an asset for us.
See if you can try to open up about this. But after the game, Robbie said that you got the game ball. He said he was playing this week for you, and you've been receiving a lot of grief that you shouldn't be. It's up to them to do their job. What did it mean to you to get that game ball? 'Cause it's pretty rare.
Yeah, it's funny. I saw Baker holding the ball. I knew Baker was going to give it to me, and I was kind of like, it's not really what I wanted. I want the game to always be about the players. That being said, I told the team it was a tremendous honor. I have, as a coach, I've never really seen that before, and so I appreciated that those guys wanted to go out and validate. Maybe me as a coach, whatever, that they stood up, for me and all that. But at the end of the day, it's not about me, really not. Yeah, I told him today, like, I don't want you to make it about me. I want you to make me right. You know, like, I believe in this team. I've said that this team was close. I said that your guys are a good team. I told you guys that we just had to make a couple more plays. Like, at the end of the day, like, it's the same team, but we blocked the field goal. You know, it's the same team, but a 340-pound man dove out and intercepted a ball, right? We executed better, but we made the plays that can finish the game. And so J.C. Horn went and picked that ball off at the end. Hecker, like, really kind of an unsung story in that game. But like Hecker puts 4 balls inside the 11. I mean, with an all-out rush coming at him. So, again, I was honored. I really was honored, and I appreciated those guys saying those things. And when we lose, I do deserve the grief. It's my job. I have that. There's no one. I don't shy away from that. It is what it is. I stand up here after every game, and I always say, hey, it's on me. So I appreciate the guys doing that. But I just wanted them to go out and play. I want them to play the way I know they're capable of playing. And yesterday was a much cleaner game than we've had. You know, 5 penalties. Like we're growing up as a team, and we have to do it again this week.
Going back to your experience coaching against Lincoln Riley, now seeing the quarterbacks he has in the league, any characteristic you see from the guys that are in the NFL now, from all 3 quarterbacks that are starting?
Lincoln, Kyler, Jalen, and Baker, elite competitors. You know, the thing about Lincoln is I have the utmost respect for Lincoln Riley because I coached against him with East Carolina. It was like so much drop back, and then he just always tailored his offenses to each quarterback. You know, with Baker, it was way more drop back. With Kyler, I mean, Kyler did things in the game against us that I've never seen someone do. Like, I mean, he's just elite players. They played one way, and then with Jalen, they tailored everything to him. You know, quarterback runs, quarterback draws, and I think that's the mark of a great offensive coach is they build it around their quarterback. You know, like I said earlier, it's a job of everyone to make the quarterback successful, and he did that. So, but to credit to all 3 guys, all 3 guys are alphas and leaders, and you know they drove those teams and made those teams really tough teams to play.
Last week you talked about wanting to get more receivers incorporated in the offense. Do you need to get Chuba and Donte a little more action, or is that anything you're thinking about?
Yeah, they're there. You know, Chuba Chuba was another real bright spot. I thought he had 2 really good runs. You know, the one run that he had that was the you know, kind of got hit and spun out and ran for 10 or 12 yards. That was really important. And to your point, you know, he protected the football at a high level. So, you know, I'd love to get Donte rolling. It just hasn't worked out yet, you know, and I think that's got to be a better job by us. He's practicing well. We know he could be a weapon for us. He's going to get tired of me saying it. We got to convert some 3rd downs and stay on the field, and I think that's when you really start to see, you know, the run game take an effect on people. For us to be running the ball for the yardage the last 2 games without converting 3rd downs usually doesn't happen. And this game was different. The last game was like one big run and some good runs. This was a lot of really efficient runs. So I'd like to get those guys involved. It's hard to take Christian off the field. It just kind of is what it is.
Brian dropped back, I think, only 3 times compared to what I think we had 15 against the Giants. Is that more of a happy medium, or is it just what happened?
Yeah, no, against the Giants, you know, because they were such a run RPO team. You know, we played a lot of that. I thought it was a brilliant move by Phil. We played a lot of like 3-3 stack and just try to take all that away. And and then when they went to passing downs, went to 4 down and rushed. Going into this game, like if Taysom was up, we had a bunch of that stuff ready. You know, he didn't play, so we always have that in our back pocket. You know, when we go with a 4-man rush, you know, we expect Brian to go in. Brian's just also an elite cover guy. Like, you know, I mean, he's one of the best football players I've ever been around. So, I mean, there's a time yesterday they were maxing us up, and Xavier Woods is so smart. He came down and he blitzed and put Brian on coverage on the tight end, and Brian just covered the tight end in the flat. Like, not many DNs you can do that with. So, you know, he drops sometimes in some of the blitz packages. I'd love to have him rushing all the time, but he does sometimes get, you know, sometimes they think he's dropping and he gets to rush free and get on the back too. So there's a part of that. But a lot of that Giant stuff was just specific to them and their offense and the RPOs and all that.
Your assessment of how JC did on those snaps in the slot?
I thought JC played a really good game. You know, forced 2 turnovers. I thought he tackled really well. You know, when we lost Donte, you know, JC has to kind of go from playing corner to playing a lot more different things in some of our nickel packages. You know, in this game, he basically played nickel, corner, and played safety at times based upon the look. So JC, fantastic football player. A lot of things, you know, he's still like, you know, coming after every game, he just keep coaching him on, hey, versus this look, you have to do this, versus this, you have to do this. Because he's getting putting him in so many different positions. So, he's kind of like Chin was, he's so talented that you want to kind of take advantage of some of that versatility. And I thought he did a good job with it.
Just curious, have you gotten any further explanation on the challenge and if the runner was down by contact or anything like that?
Yeah, nothing. No, I mean, just on the field, what they told me that he got touched when he was down. So, Bruce asked. Bruce thought maybe I said I guess. Like at the end of the day, I thought he didn't get touched. I looked at the replay on the board, and thought he didn't get touched. So I challenged it. And they looked at. They have a better view than I do. So I trust them to to get it right. And even on the film, I can't really tell. And I don't watch. I haven't seen the TV copy yet. So part of it as my day goes on, one of my next things is I always go back and anything we want to send in officiating, I do. So I'll look at that. But I'm sure they got it right.
The fact that came so early in the half give you any pause?
Not really. I think at the end of the day, like to have a chance at the ball. Like anytime we have a chance at the ball, we got to take our shot, right? And it wasn't like one of those deals where they're like, "Hey, I'm telling you, he's down" or anything. There was nothing like that. It was, and so it's just kind of one of those deals. At our stadium, I have to look at the jumbotron. They did it. They replayed it a couple times, but it was just a timeout. I just knew that we were going to save our timeouts the rest of the way and probably wouldn't take much of a shot, but. Just for the sake of the ball, that would have changed the whole game, so I had to take a shot at it.
Very good.
All right, thanks, guys.